So as I said, I didn't walk out and become a presenter. I was a producer for a year, and then I became a presenter. And then I moved away and I came back, and then I didn't become a presenter again after being one. I had to do all these other jobs in order to get where I wanted to be. If you want to be a DJ because you want to be recognized on like big stages and like that is part of it if you get to a certain level. I wouldn't say I'm there, but yeah, the big shot DJs, but to get there is a really long path. So if you don't truly enjoy what you're doing, it's going to be really, really difficult to get there.
What was something you learned in 2023 to change your life? One thing.
To have fun on the journey. I think a lot of people get caught up in the rat race and there's always like the next goal and to keep running. And like I was like that, I wanted to get the show, but like now that I have the show, I look back and I'm like, wow, I probably could have enjoyed the process a lot more. So I'm trying to just not take things so seriously and just like enjoy it, because there's a never ending list of goals that people have. There's always the next thing. So I just think you're wasting your whole life if you're not enjoying each and every step along the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the most amazing woman from Iran, half from Dublin. She's a DJ, she's working in radio, Spin 138. She can do the rest of herself.
Hi, I'm Shireen. I think you said pretty much everything. Yeah, I'm a radio presenter and DJ from Ireland.
Shireen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can have a good debate.
Let's get into it.
And then tell us about yourself a little bit, Shireen.
What is it you want to know?
Everything.
Everything.
Let the viewer knows you very well. And you work in a radio station and in a very popular radio station in Ireland.
Yeah.
And how did you get in there?
So I studied radio. I have a degree in radio production management, media production management. So I started out in TV, then I did radio, and yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last 7 or 8 years.
And how's it go?
Good, I love it. I really love it. Yeah. So from college, got a show on FM 104, did that for 2 years, moved to LA, came back, started working on my radio station now, and I've just gotten my own show, and I'm there about just over a year.
And what's it called, your show?
Well, I have 2 different shows that I do. So I do like a show on 98 FM as well, and then I'm also on Spin. So I have a show, and it's called the Jamie and Shireen Show.
Okay, is that the same owner or 2 different owners? Like
yeah, same owner. It's all in the same building. Yeah.
Same building. And how did you find that?
How did I find it?
Yeah.
I just kind of applied for it, and that was it.
Yeah. And what's the challengeable you can get into to radio industry?
Same challenges as every industry, I think. I think you just have to be persistent. Like I started out doing other work, so I think it's very like you need to work your way into the role that you want to do. So I started out doing desking and then producing, and then I moved my way up. So I think it's hard to just walk in and be a presenter, but if you do other things, it will happen.
And how long did it take you to be where you are today?
29 years, because that's how old I am. No, I'm joking.
She looks 22. Like, how did you get? Like, where does the 7 years come from?
What can I say? It's the Botox. No, I'm joking. I'd probably say 7 or 8 years, because that's when I started studying.
7, 8 years to be who you are exactly.
Yeah.
And what was the challengeable in your journey to be in college, and in the meantime you focused on your career?
I was quite lucky because I got a job while I was in college. So I started early. When I studied TV presenting for a year first, and I started working in radio as soon as I got straight into college. So when I left college, I already had 4 years experience behind me. So I think I was quite fortunate with how I did it. I think a lot of people wait until they finish college and then they start focusing on what they want to do. And to me, that's like a missed opportunity because you're already like 4 years behind where you could have been.
What's daily basis working in a radio station?
Well, I'm kind of freelance. I have a show, but like I'm freelance, so it's great. I get to like pick my own hours and stuff. So it's different days every week.
It's not the same day, like 9 to 5, or like you can 6 a.m. Like people complain you have to go to show like 4 a.m. You know.
Some people, yeah, that would be an early breakfast shift. So yeah, it just kind of depends. But yeah, no, each and every day is completely different.
How did you get in your music industry, like to become a popular DJ in Ireland? Like?
I don't know if I'm popular.
Okay. How did you get in there?
During the pandemic, I just learned how to do it. I was working with a guy and he kept saying it to me. He's like, you need to learn, you need to learn. Yeah, so we used to work in F104 together. He kept saying it to me, and then eventually during the pandemic I had all the spare time and I just was kind of playing around on and off for 2 years, and then I just started taking it seriously the last 2 years.
And are you going like in every weekend? Are you booked up, or no? Like, how is that? Are you have agents? People who book you up?
Yeah, I have people that book me up. So I've kind of moved away from weekend like club and bar work. I mainly just kind of do like festivals and commercial stuff at the minute. So I was doing the late nights till 2-3 a.m. for over a year, and then I think my focus just kind of changed. So now my main focus is radio, and then I just do DJing part time.
What's the hardest job in DJ, like, as a woman?
I don't think there's any hard part to it. I think it's just about picking the right music at the right time.
He didn't see, because like we do events and we saw like people getting drunk by 1:30 a.m. trying jumping on the disc, show the phone like, I wanted this song and I wanted this song, you know, like, and they throw like a fucking €5 or €20, play my song. Did
I
you
mean,
ever see this?
if people want to give me money, I've had that. You're welcome to give me money whenever. I've worked in the bar industry for years. That doesn't scare me. I think you need to have a certain air about you. You need to know, like, yeah, how to stand up for yourself and protect yourself. But I never really had any issue.
I remember like a friend of mine, his name is Ricky, DJ Ricky, as I'm sure you know him. And one night he asked me to go with him to the club. Mm-hmm. And I went to the club because he was DJing, and it was like for his studio, like, Jesus, it was so hard. I saw first time myself, like, behind the scenes, like how they do, you know, like people jumping on a disc, you know, push the table, asking like, I remember the woman, she write the song on her phone and put it on her forehead. I hate this when I saw her, like, I hated it. Even didn't ask nicely, and she threw like a fucking €5. And play my song. Like,
yeah.
Did you ever see any of these? No?
No, I never really. There was only one time I was doing a club in Bray, and some girl like tried to like hand her glass to me thinking I was the bar, but like that, I don't really do bar gigs anymore. So like you're talking about 2-3 in the morning when people have been out for like 5 hours. I veered away from that. So I just, no, I don't have any really bad experiences.
If somebody asking you a question, like they want to become like working in the radio industry or a DJ industry, what's your advice for them?
My advice is, first of all, I'd ask you, why do you want to do it? I think people get into it for the wrong reason. For both of them. Like, if you want to be a DJ because you want to be recognized on like big stages and like that is part of it if you get to a certain level. I wouldn't say I'm there, but yeah, the big shot DJs. But to get there is a really long path. So if you don't truly enjoy what you're doing, it's going to be really, really difficult to get there. Because it's like hours of practice, hours of grafting, hours of doing gigs, like you said, where people are drunk and disorderly and partying and no one's really paying attention to you. Like, the road to get where you want to be is really hard. So I'd first ask you, do you really want to do it? Because I think the amount of people that are like, I want to be a DJ, and then 10 days later they're not a DJ. For 2 years I was on and off with being a DJ, you know. I think people think it's easier than it is. So I'd firstly ask you, why do you want to do it?
And what's the advice for the radio if somebody wants to get into to become radio presenter?
Well, same thing. Why do you want to do it? And then I'd probably say find a niche and try to get in that way. What I did was I had all these other skills. So I can do podcasts, I can produce shows, I can run desks, I can do all these different things. So the more things you're able to do, the more work that's going to come in, and then the more you're going to be in the right places with the right people. And then it's just a waiting game. It's just waiting for that opportunity to come up and like, jump at it or hope that someone will spot you.
What's so challengeable on your life to be in here today? What's so hard for your life to be recognized as a DJ and as a radio presenter?
It's funny, if you had have asked me that a few years ago, I would have said, I don't... I see myself as a giant kid. Like, I'm like Peter Pan. Like, I do my job because I have so much fun doing my job. So I don't see challenges. I don't take it too seriously. Like, there's been gigs that I've wanted that I haven't gotten, or, you know, I've had to wait longer for things than I expected. But that's just life. It's just a waiting game. You're not always going to get everything you want when you want it at that time. So what do you mean by challenges exactly?
You know, your life challenges, like, you know, so many people finish the college, they cannot get a job as a journalist.
Yeah, but that's because they're probably aiming for one thing. So as I said, I didn't walk out and become a presenter. I was a producer for a year, and then I became a presenter. And then I moved away and I came back, and then I didn't become a presenter again after being one. I had to do all these other jobs in order to get where I wanted to be.
If I walk into Spain and say I want to be a producer, they will say, take it.
Well, do you have the skills?
No.
Well, then you have
But
to
I have a brain. I can make it happen.
Walk in and try it. That might work out for you. I know I started out doing work experience. So as I said, when I was in college, I started out doing work experience. That helped me build up the base to get where I needed to be.
How long was your college?
4 years.
4 years. Where did you study?
Ballyfermot.
Ballyfermot. Jeez, in tough place in Dublin, Ballyfermot.
I'm fearless.
Yeah. And what was like when you finish your college in Ballyfermot, like, and what was? Do you have to continue to your college to stuck in a radio, or do you want to be just say this is it? I'll finish my college and I have my job. I don't want to do anything else.
What do you mean? Did I want to go back to college?
Yeah.
No. I was done. I still go back to my college to give talks every now and again, but no, definitely not. I was delighted to move on.
Okay. And what was your workplace when you starting as a cleaning desk? You just say you're cleaning your desk as starting as a work experience.
Oh, I was like running the desk.
Yeah, running the desk.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good. So I was in Classic Hits for a while, then I was in F104, and then I moved away. I moved to LA and then I came back.
And how long did you stay in LA? What did you do in LA?
I was there for just under a year. I only came back because of the pandemic. I went over on a 1-year media visa. Mm-hmm. So I was over there and then I came back.
Did you work there or no?
Yeah, it's on a working visa.
It's on a work visa. And how was LA over there, if you compare from there to here?
Oh, it was incredible. I learned so much being over there. I love LA. I'm such an LA person. I think you're either New York or LA, but like I love like the beach and the ocean vibes and everything's really like hippy dippy. It was great.
And what was something you learned in 2023 to change your life? One thing.
To have fun on the journey. I think a lot of people get caught up in the rat race and there's always like the next goal and to keep running. And like I was like that, I wanted to get the show, but like now that I have the show, I look back and I'm like, wow, I probably could have enjoyed the process a lot more. So I'm trying to just not take things so seriously and just like enjoy it, because there's a never ending list of goals that people have. There's always the next thing. So I just think you're wasting your whole life if you're not enjoying each and every step along the way.
What's one thing you regret in 2023?
I have no regrets.
No regret?
Nah, sure. What would I regret? Nothing disastrous happened.
What's your plan in 2024?
Ooh, that's a good question. A player doesn't give away her cards, does she? Don't know, you're just going to have to keep an eye on my socials and watch to see where I end up.
Well, come on, you can share with us a little bit. We want to know what's your plan, you know?
I don't really have any major plans.
What's something exciting to say, I want to do this in 2024?
I probably want to travel more. I love to travel. But like career-wise, I mean, I got what I wanted to get, so I'm kind of happy. If
somebody wants to get in this life, to have a better life in 2024, as we know everything going so hard and expensive, what's your advice for them?
Are you looking for money advice or are you looking for life?
Life advice.
Life advice is so my current thing that I'm doing is I'm not breaking promises with myself. So I saw a quote that someone said that if you and your friend were meant to go to the gym at 8 o'clock tomorrow and they didn't show up, you'd be like, oh, okay. And then if it happened the next day, they didn't show up again. By the third day, you're not going to believe that they're going to show up. So it's the same thing with you. If you're constantly going through this process of not showing up for yourself, you're going to lose trust in yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, I don't think you can kind of get the best out of life. So my 2024 thing that I'm doing that might be beneficial to people is to stick to your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to get up at a certain time, get up at a certain time. And set realistic goals. Don't be unrealistic and have a whole 12-hour day mapped out. But if like the other day I said that I was going to do my washing and I was like, I need to do it tomorrow regardless. And I came in at 10 o'clock and it was the last thing I wanted to do, but I still did it. So just like sticking to your own promises, building the trust with myself. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I can't promise myself at the gym things because I'm a very bad person. Like many times I say to myself, okay, I'm going to be in the gym tomorrow at 6 a.m. or 10 a.m. Like with my friends, like I never show up because I can't go show up like, I have a work to do. You know, like 1 minute I'm going to be in this place, the next place I'm going to be in other place.
Ah, man, no, that's excuses.
No, I'm not joking. Look,
not accepting that. I'm sorry. That
it's
is
like
an
8:05. 8:05. I'm supposed to be at here, like somewhere else, at 6:00, and I told them I can't make it. You know, every day there is something happening. Like say, like we have like doing a podcast every 4 times a week. Like they has a timetable. Like they has time. They tell like today, tomorrow, 7:00, because they access to the social media. They are texting every guest we have. You know.
Yeah.
But for me, trust me, it's really, really hard.
No,
One thing I cannot promise in the gym things. I cannot promise anything.
But man, you need to also understand this. If you don't show up for yourself, especially early on in the day, how can you show up for anyone else to the best of your ability? Like if you're not prioritizing your health and your well-being, I wake up every morning and my non-negotiable is I do breath work and I meditate, because if I'm not full, I cannot serve or help anyone else, because like I don't have anything to give you. So maybe you should reconsider the gym.
I'll try. I'll try. Look.
I don't know, man. Here, each to their own. I'm not here to preach. Like I have flaws like every other person. I'm far from perfect. But I just know that I was that person. I was like working 12 to 14 hour days, up before my work day to do other work, going to the gym, like not eating meals. Like, yeah, sometimes I'd be in work and I wouldn't eat for like 7 hours. And it was insane, but eventually my health did take a toll on me, and like I became run down, and then I wasn't as productive, and then I wasn't as creative because I didn't have my basic needs, and then my ideas weren't as good, and it was just like a sinking ship happened, and I didn't even see it happening. And then I turned it all around because I was like, I need to start prioritizing my health.
I think that's a very good advice. People hopefully take your advice, you know.
I hope so. It happens out of nowhere.
Yeah, look, I'll try to ask you, and we just discussed about this. You know, there's so much people complaining, like, hard to get up early in the morning going to, say, college. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to finish their college and they has no job. And I know a few people, they has degree, they cannot get a job.
If we're speaking about my industry, as I said, I just think have your skills as wide as possible. But like a scientist not being able to get a job.
I'm talking like a journal. Why people like has degree, they cannot get a job?
Well, you'd have to look at it as a case-to-case basis. Like, you're asking a very broad question for a very big topic. Whereas, if you gave me a case point of, like, this person comes from this background, they have this degree and they have this experience, like, we could speak about it. But I don't know why all these people can't get jobs. Like, unfortunately, I'm probably going to get shot for saying this, the reality is that a lot of people do need to take on certain projects for free, especially like I'm a freelancer, so technically I am my own business. I had to do a certain amount of underpaid, unpaid work in order to build my portfolio to get to where I needed to be. So like I didn't just get my degree, walk into a station and go, hi, I have a degree, can you please hire me? Like you need to have a briefcase of experience behind you.
And what's the most hardest part you do like show with your colleague?
I wouldn't really say that there's a hard part. I actually think that there's a lot of benefits to doing a show with someone, because two people coming up with ideas, you have someone to bounce off and you get to show a different side to your personality. So if you're like a solo presenter on air, it's just you talking, whereas when it's you with someone, like it's easier to bring different content to the table.
Is that the live or not just pre-record?
No, it's live.
It's live?
Yeah.
Jeez, it's hard. How's freelancer?
It's good. I love freelancing. Freelancing can be a lot more difficult because, as I said, you are your own business. So you're not guaranteed work. So you're always looking for the next job. The next job has to come to you, but you also have complete control over your hours, your flexibility, like even your rate. You can change it depending on the gigs and everything. So personally, I love freelancing.
That's very good. Like freelancing is really, really hard. Like, no?
It can be. It can be difficult to begin. It's like, as I said, it's literally like you're literally starting up a business. It's like if you have a coffee shop, you're going to have 1 or 2 people walk in the door, but then by the end of it, you could have 50 or 60. It just depends on whether your business takes off or doesn't. Sometimes you need to pivot and change, but yeah, it's good. You have to do your own taxes. That's the only bad thing.
But at least you don't want to pay tax. You can control your tax. You know that. You can control. You say, look, either earn much money or something, you know, you can buy a car, you can pay a better car because you're freelance, because you need a car, you can pay for you less pay tax, no?
Well, to a certain extent, so you get a certain amount towards a car, you definitely have expenses, but there is limits. You can't just like spend 100 grand on a car and write it all off. I think that there's like tax credits, so there's a certain amount per thing. And it's also not everything. It's if you use your car for travel. But if I was working for home, well, then I wouldn't get any money towards my car.
But are you working from home or just working from office all the time?
Well, a mixture of the two. It depends. Like sometimes I'm out gigging, sometimes I'm in the station, sometimes I'm at home. It depends.
You know, since on COVID happening, people like work from home, and they really like they do the same job. Like, do you prefer like people work from home or in office?
No, I love being out and about. I love doing the two. I love doing a mixture of the two, but I love going into the office and seeing everyone there.
Yeah. Look, my question is all done. I don't like I'm keep fuzzing out. Nothing else to ask you. You have the mic. It's all yours.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for coming in. A real pleasure to having you. Thank you.